Hi, welcome to my bar. I have plenty of liquor behind me, in front of me, and what I'm doing right now is just going into my mixology process, which is essentially picking out almost every single liquor bottle that I own, smelling it, tasting it, seeing which of them are going to work with what I'm thinking about for the next drink. I'm trying to figure out one for Helen of Troy. I know with Helen of Troy it's going to have to be clear liquids because I want it to be pretty as Helen was, right? If you want to do different colors that will be more vibrant and bright, then you kind of want clear liquids so that you can have those brighter, more unique colors, like let's say it's yellow, or let's say it's blue or green or purple or what have you, or even red. Those are going to play much nicer with clears than it will with browns. With Helen of Troy, we want something that's going to be connected to the golden apple in the story. We want something that's going to be pretty, and we want something that's Mediterranean. I got Italicus here, which is a bergamot liquor, and if you don't know what bergamot is, it smells like a very bitter orange. Yeah, it's pretty much just smells straight up like citrus peel. This is really good, in my opinion. Bitter, refreshing. It's like if you drink this straight up, probably remind you of like a slightly sweeter Negroni. I'm not a big fan of Negronis, but this combined with other liquors is really good, especially in a subtle bitter aftertaste. The reason why I want to work off this is because Italicus, although it's made in Italy, it's not in Greece. Most Grecian liquors, or at least the most famous ones, are all Ouzo. Ouzo is an anisette, at least it's a form of anisette. Anise is the most potent flavor or botanical that's in there. And because of that, it's so overpowering and it's really hard to work with. I personally would rather have something more fruity. I may go with a little bit like something more towards an apple flavor. I could do like with a Laird's Applejack. And this has actually good apple flavor. It's like pretty potent. It's not going to taste like apple juice at all, but it's way more digestible than the Captain Applejack that I have around here somewhere that I'm not a big fan of. But then I could also go with like some additional kind of like island flavors, but I have to find like the right flavors for Greece, which is also a thing. So you have to kind of connect it back to like what flavors kind of symbolize Greece. And then you have to think about, okay, well, what are Grecian foods taste like? Well, it's gyros, it's going to be tzatziki, it's going to be kind of refreshing, it's going to have lime and lemons and citrus and that type of thing along with it, and that palate, plus with the spices that they use, it's going to be kind of savory but usually citrus forward. And if we're going to have familiar Greek flavors, it's without using Ouzo, we're probably going to lean citrus. So I think citrus with a touch of apple is probably where we're going to go with, but we want to make sure that this drink is pretty, and I kind of want to allude it to the golden apple. So I'm going to try to make it gold in some way, shape, or form. That may end up being from, probably, in my opinion, it could either be from like the golden amber of liquors, like for example, Saint Germain is an elderflower. That's going to work well with citrus flavors, especially with this and the bergamot. It's going to be very dense in terms of the sugar content. Both of these are heavy sugar. This one's not too much, but we don't want too much apple flavor, and this is also going to tamper down our color. So I'm probably going to have to figure out something else to come up with. I could do with apricot brandy if I wanted to, but that also has a color. I'm never going to touch the Zvox Slivovitz again. That was a mistake. I could do gin. I could even do this very interesting hemp gin. This is made from a Fat Dog Spirits in Tampa. It's very grassy. Naturally, you can get the joke, but it actually tastes really, really good. I like it. It's very refreshing. So I may actually try that here too. And because it's gin, it's not going to have a higher sugar content like these two. So it may cut between the sugar content of these two, play well with the flavor profiles of both of these. And then we can probably add some additional amplifying fruity flavors like this, and maybe some citrus, and hopefully that, with a combination of all the colors here, clear, clear, amber, amber, and maybe some lemon juice, we could probably get that golden color that we're looking for. But I want it to be kind of more clear as possible, so I may even do like a lemon extract or something like that. So we'll find out what happens. But I use these to kind of test out my flavors in. And because I hate waste, I don't make full drinks when I'm trying out all of my flavors. I go just eyeballing it putting it in and then guesstimating what the ratio is after, so I can scale it to size if I like the flavor combination. So I'm going to put in a little Italicus here. And then I'll throw in some elderflower. And I'm going to do this one at a time. I know what the Italicus tastes like. I know what the Saint Germain's tastes like. Saint Germain's is slightly tart. It's got the nice elderflower finish. It's not very bitter. It's kind of very nice and mellow despite having all the elderflower. Italicus is a little bit more bitter. Much more sugary. You can already tell that there's a lot more sugar in this because it starts to have like a glassy look. On the smell, I can smell more bergamot than elderflower. So I'm going to add a little bit more, try to balance it out. Now I'm starting to get the tart of the elderflower. And nose feel is almost as important as taste, because I mean, they're connected, right? So like you can get an idea before you even taste like what this is going to balance out as. Now it's just going to find out what the sweetness is, because we know what the aromatics are. Yep, very syrupy. Slightly sweet. I think I actually put in a little bit too much Saint Germain's. And then there's a bitter aftertaste with the bergamot. So it's actually not bad. I like the start. And then because it's so syrupy, gin here is going to help a lot. Whether it's this gin or it's the American Aviation gin or it's the Bombay Sapphire gin, any one of those is going to work well because the juniper is going to work well with these two. These can be considered botanicals. It's going to match kind of the flavor profile of these types of spirits in the way that they're made. A lot of sugar in there, so we don't need to add any simple syrup. That's going to be completely unnecessary in this drink. So now I know probably going to be a little bit less of this, a little bit more of this. So if I was going to do a ratio, I'd probably lean 2 to 1. And then you can just scale that depending on where the rest of it's going to be. But this, more than this right now. Then I'm going to dilute it a little bit. I'm going to try it with the hemp gin. This is popular in Florida. I don't know if you're going to find this in your own stores around you, but in the Tampa Bay area, if you're ever in Tampa Bay, you can find this in Total Wine, and it's got really good taste. I really like it. It's got a nice grassy taste to it, as I've said before already, but I don't think I put enough in. I want to make sure that we have a good separation. We want the gin to be the top dog here, and then the rest are going to play fiddle. No. No. Nope. 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 I don't like it. We're going to put that back. So, what did that do that I don't like? The grassiness in the hemp gin, that's normally really, really good straight up, is not playing well with these two at all. It just amplified the bitters heavily. Like, no, the tartness of this is gone. The bergamot in this is played down so much, and the grass of this, the subtly bitter grass of the hemp gin, just shot way up, and it is, it's like licking a candle. I can't, it's awful. It's like potpourri. It's not getting better. So I'm gonna do something stupid and make it worse. I got Applejack, and I wanted to see if Applejack would work anyway, so let's just throw that on in there. See what it does to the color. It gives us a slight amber. This is going to be awful. I can already tell. This is a bad idea, but I have to drink this because I don't like to waste, as I said. I don't like to toss stuff. It's money going down the drain. Also a good time. No. Oh, that needs a chaser. Oh, why does it keep staying? If flowers had feet, that's what it would taste like. So I'm gonna try again. Put a little bit in there, then put in the Italicus. So we just got like a drop in there. So I'm gonna put a little bit more than a drop in here. Cool. We got Aviation. We're gonna try this again. See if this one works. Oh dear, that was too much. Let's try it. It's better than the last one. The last one sucked. It was, it was so gross. Once again, messing with what already disappointed me. To do it again. Because you never know. Sometimes it comes together. This one's a little better. Hey! Yeah! I don't know if it's good yet, but it's better. That's what's important. So, here's my big dilemma. I think it's too many bitters. Too much elderflower, too much Italicus. They're competing with each other on the bitterness scale, so it's just getting blown out of proportions. And then you got the juniper. Now, the juniper isn't necessarily a sweet flavor. It's a botanical, so it's kind of got those grassy, flowery notes, which isn't going to necessarily calm these two down. It's just going to amplify everything else. But including the Applejack, I think, is a really good addition here because it's introducing some necessary fruitiness with the high alcohol content that's in the Applejack. It's also cutting through all the sugariness. So we're kind of in between. But now we have to make the decision of whether or not we want to continue down the current path that we're on, or if we just 360 it and go somewhere else. I'm thinking of introducing a little bit of vodka, because I think vodka as a base is going to be a little bit nicer to me because it doesn't have any botanicals that are going along with it. It's going to be a much more cleaner flavor to cut through the sugar, if I want to keep these two. And that's where my mind's going on the experimentation point. So we could also do Sky vodka. It's fine for a mixer. It's a great alcohol to hide in other alcohols. That's what Sky is. And that's what we're going to use it for. And since it's got Sky and it's blue and it reminds me of the Greek flag, wins. I don't know. We're just riffing here. All right, so we're just going to do a touch. So this, at this point, this is going to be just a splash in our drink because I think it's just too much. Or this is going to have to be a splash in our drink. We don't know. We don't know. We have to find out. Together, you, me, camera. Yeah, I mean, so that's better. That's exactly what I thought it would be. The vodka doesn't amplify these flavors. It just adds booziness and it cuts down the sugar, which is what we're looking for, right? But we're just going to keep drinking. Vodka, Applejack, this thing, St. Germain's, and Italicus. So, bitter aftertaste, kind of fruity up front, alcohol punchy, very punchy. Now you get to try. This is where we do our peer review.
I do like it quite a bit, yeah.
What?
I like it a lot.
What? This is where my insecurities get confirmed by other people. I live for verification. That's why I have this show. We have our base. So base is going to be Sky Vodka. Why? I'll figure that out later.
I figured it out.
What's it?
Where do the gods reside?
That's true. They lived in the sky.
They were so
guys.
They had 2 Ys.
Yeah. Yes. That's our alcohol base. Now, it's pretty potent. It's a lot. Now we're going to want to dilute it with something. We could do it with sweet and sour mix. We could do it with lemon juice. I think the lemon juice is going to overpower everything. I don't think it's going to be a good idea, although it would be familiar to a lot of the Greek flavors. I don't think it's going to be what we want. So as you can tell, we just go with it, you know? Find the story in there. So we got a nice golden color, but it's very murky. It's not very clear, which you win some, you lose some. You can't really fix that. It's good. It's fine. It works. It needs to be a splash. Yeah, see?
The orange is very subtle.
It's subtle, but it's good, and it's smooth. And you get the bergamot, and you get the elderflower, and you get the vodka.
The orange comes in at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And the elderflower comes in at the end. Slight tart. Because it gives me purpose. All right, so we got about a half of vodka, 1/4 ounce of Italicus. Then we want to splash. Of Saint Germain. A little bit more than a splash.
2 splashes.
Yeah, 2 splashes. Second one's a little bit more heavy-handed, so it's probably going to come out to probably about a quarter ounce. So it's probably equal right now between Italicus and Saint Germain. So depending on the flavor composition that we're going to get out of that, I'm going to either add or subtract from the Saint Germain there. And then just a splash of Applejack. Ridiculous. So I'm going to put in about a half ounce of orange juice. Where it's just a drop, then that's kind of a waste. So please do this soberly. Smell-wise, I think the orange is too much. Nope, I was wrong. This is a little bit better, actually. Just need to amplify a little bit more on the Italicus, but I think we've actually got our drink. Second opinion. Nope, actually, no, we do have our drink. That was right. The more I drink it, better it gets.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a good drink.
Yep. Run it, print it, send it to the papers, tell your friends. There you go. So now we got our drink. Now I'm just going to scale that up to fit into one of these glasses. I'll do that at a different time. But for now, that's kind of just an inside look. The whole process of me figuring out how to make a drink. This was for Helen of Troy. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. It really means a lot to us. Check us out on obviously YouTube, Rumble, Patreon, Locals. We're on pretty much every single platform because we want to reach you guys any way that we can. So check us out also on Instagram and Facebook. So anyway, we love you guys. From all of us here at Top Shelf History. History is better with a drink. Cheers.